All right. So, hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is good. So, this is actually fourth part of our daily series where we are covering concepts and that too within 15 minutes only. In the previous video, we have already covered what is inflation. And in that, I told you that whenever there is inflation in the market, we try to curb it using two methods, broadly two methods. The first one is monetary policy, another one is fiscal policy. So in today's class, we are going to see that what is basically monetary policy here. When I talk about monetary policy, always remember this is the process through which RBI, as in this apex bank, tries to bring stabilization in economy. Because I told you in the previous video as well that RBI is given this responsibility of bringing stabilization in economy. Along with that, it is having responsibility of maintaining growth in an economy as well, right? So numbers are important. Along with that, prices should be very stabilized in nature. And what is the process which is used to bring the stabilization? That is specifically this monetary policy here. So in this particular video, we are actually going to see what are the instruments associated with it, and we are going to see the rest of the parts as well. We'll try to see what if it decreases, what if it contracts, and what if it expands, what basically happens to the money supply. Along with that, I'll give you one formula which you people need to remember, and using that particular formula, you won't be able, you do not need to give much of your time in thinking about it only. Of course, using that particular formula, you will be able to solve your questions as in a very simple manner. Okay. Before that, this is the link of my Telegram channel, which was Economy with Payal. So all of the new joinees here can join it. This is Economy with Payal. So I have already told you that monetary policy ka jo major meaning hai, that is what? It's a kind of process only, which is followed by the apex bank, which is RBI. And what is the use of it? Just to bring stabilization in economy so that we can maintain the numbers. We can ensure growth in an economy. For that, stabilization is exactly very important. Okay. Now, when I talk about monetary policy here, it is just the process I have told you through which RBI regulates the money supply in an economy. Money supply is what? Is what basically? That what is the supply of money in an economy? How many hands it is exactly exchanging, right? तो वो क्या है? एक मनी सप्लाई है इकोनॉमी में, जिसको मेंटेन करना किसका काम है? हमारे आरबीआई का काम है. ओके, now this is basically using various of the monetary instruments also to control it. And when I talk about the monetary instruments, they are basically divided into two. The first one is quantitative. Second one is qualitative. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये जो दो है, it is associated with it. I've written the spelling wrong. Qualitative. ठीक है, this is quantitative and this is qualitative. Remember, quantitative is the one which deals with numbers. Qualitative is the one which more deals with ethics, which more deals with the obligations and responsibilities. In the coming slides, I'll tell you how it happens. Okay. All right. The objective is very crystal clear. I told you to bring stabilization in economy. Now, what is the threshold of the stabilization? That is generally 4%. Okay. That is specifically CPI. And yes, relaxation is also given here. That is specifically 2% here, right? So it ranges between 2 to 6%. If it goes to 2% and even 6%, it has to come back to 4% here. Okay, the 4% kya hai? Is a balanced one. Yes, relaxation has been given here, that is plus minus 2% here. This is something which you people need to remember. Now, I told you that this is further divided into quantitative and qualitative instruments here. So, on the basis of quantitative only, I told you it deals with numbers, quantity. Okay. So first one is reserve ratios. Reserves means what? That you are saving with yourself. For example, you are earning 50,000 per month, and what if you are in need of money, right? You've done every expenditure, you've done regular expenditure. Out of your 50,000, you have spent maybe 10,000. Right? And what if you're in need of money? So you keep 40,000 in your savings account, right? So these are basically reserves. Now remember, now this is just a layman language so that you people understand about it. तो ये क्या है? आपके reserves है जो आपने अपने पास रखे हैं, ठीक है? उसके साथ साथ अगर आप investment भी कर रहे हो, that are also your reserve because you've kept it with yourself. In case of emergency, you can use that. Now on the basis of reserves only, they are further divided into two. The first one is cash reserve ratio. cash means associated with cash only, right? So the percentage of bank's net demand and time liabilities here that must be maintained as a cash reserves with the RBI. Now you people also remember that when I talk about demand and time liabilities here, so yes, जो हम deposits देते हैं वो क्या है, हमारे जो banks है, जो हमारे scheduled commercial banks है, वो उनकी liability है ना, कि जो हम पेमेंट हमने जो सबमिट करी है सेविंग्स अकाउंट में वो उनकी क्या है, लाइबिलिटी है, क्योंकि उनको हमें वापस देनी है. अगर हम डिमांड लाइबिलिटीज या फिर अगर हम डिमांड डिपॉजिट जो है वो करते हैं सबमिट, तो वो उनकी क्या है, डिमांड लाइबिलिटीज है. सिमिलर इज द केस विद द टाइम लाइबिलिटीज ऑल्सो. अगर हमने टाइम डिपॉजिट्स करे हैं तो दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली देयर लाइबिलिटी हियर, राइट? So that in total makes what? That is specifically net demand and time liabilities. Now this is something which I've told you in a very crux manner. Yes, we are having a specific formula for it as well, right? Next is what? That is SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. Now remember, हमारे पास बाकी assets भी होते हैं, जैसे गोल्ड हो गया, जैसे कैश हो गया, हमारी सिक्योरिटीज हो गई. तो अगर वो जो है फिक्स पोर्शन में अगर मैं उनको certain portion जो है, if I'm fixing that is broadly part of what? Statutory liquidity ratio. Always remember, cash reserve ratio is something which is kept with RBI. This is kept with RBI. This is responsibility, or this is something which they scheduled commercial banks have to keep with themselves only. So this is a bifurcation between both of them. Now on the basis of government securities, how do we trade that? It is on the basis of open market operations. So यहाँ पे purchase and जो sales चलता है हमारा government securities का, it is known as open market operations. Third is what? Repo rate and reverse repo rate. It is broadly part of liquidity adjustment facility. Repo rate and reverse repo rate says, for example, now banks are in need of money and they want loan from whom? That is specifically RBI, because RBI is bankers bank. कभी भी स्केड्यूल्ड कमर्शियल बैंक्स को नीड पड़ेगी तो वो किसके पास जाएंगे? बैंक्स आरबीआई के पास जाएंगे, है ना? तो यहाँ पे रेपो रेट क्या है? It is a rate at which RBI offers overnight liquidity as in short-term loans to scheduled commercial bank in return of what? That is collateral that is kept here. That is specifically government securities. उसके related जो interest pay करा जाता है, that is known as repo rate here. Again repeating, if scheduled commercial banks have taken loan from whom? That is specifically RBI, right? RBI is the one who given in loan. अब ये क्या करेंगे? scheduled banks ने यहाँ पे रखा collateral जो कि क्या है? government securities है ना? अब इनको तो ये loan they have to return it as well, right? How they are going to return? Along with one interest rate also, right? Now this interest rate is known as what? That is repo rate. Next is what? Reverse repo rate. So it is in a reverse manner. Now when RBI is the one who've taken, या फिर who've secured, या फिर whose money is landed here, as in this is a rate where RBI tries to absorb liquidity, overnight liquidity from banks. It means now commercial banks are the one who are going to keep their amount with RBI here. तो reverse है. रेपो रेट में जो scheduled commercial banks थे, they were taking money from RBI. Now here scheduled commercial banks are the one who are going to park their money with RBI here, right? And accordingly the rest of the process also happens here, right? So collateral is rest of the things are all same, but यहाँ पे जो process है that is in a reverse manner. Bank rate, that is specifically long term from the perspective of long term financial help here. So it's a rate at which RBI is willing to purchase or rediscount bills of exchange or other commercial papers also. It is basically interest rate only at which RBI lends long term unsecured funds to commercial banks, and that too without collateral. Always remember, in repo rate, reverse repo rate, there is an availability of collateral here, but in bank rate there is no availability of collateral here. Now times when I talk about today's time, we use bank rate more as a penal rate, right? Then we are having marginal standing facility. Again telling you, it's a kind of amount only that is used for overnight funds that scheduled commercial banks can borrow by utilizing their SLR portfolio up to a specific limit, and that too at a penal interest rate. Is just equivalent to repo rate plus 0.25% as well, right? But always remember, they're all ready to compromise their SLR portfolio if they want to get loan at this marginal standing facility here. Next we are having liquidity adjustment facility. मतलब जो liquidity है market में, मतलब जो money supply है market में, उसको adjust करने के लिए what are the instruments that we are using? Broadly it is just part of repo rate and reverse repo rate also, right? Market stabilization scheme. Now these are just bonds only. They are special kind of bonds which are issued by RBI on behalf of what? Government. To access what? Excess amount of liquidity. I'll tell you how. For example, I'll give you very layman language so that you can understand it, okay? bonds. Now bonds basically होते क्या है, it's a kind of paper only which gives you benefit, right? या तो आप क्या कर लो, या तो आप specifically discounted price पे उसको जो है वो sell कर सकते हो, या तो आपको regular जो interest है that will keep on coming here. Now what happens if government issues bond, right? So it means they want to absorb excess liquidity from the market. अगर government ने आपको bond दिया, उन्होंने बोला कि आप इसको purchase करिए, तो आप उसको return में क्या दोगे, आप उनको money दोगे, है ना? तो excess amount of money supply in an economy will be decreased, right? If government purchases it, so what will happen? You are going to give bonds to them, right? In return of that, the government is the one who's going to release money, so money supply in an economy increases here. This is how it happens. Okay, next is what these are qualitative tools. Margin requirement is there, as in this is a difference of the collateral and the maximum loan value as well. Consumer credit control is there, rationing is there, moral suasion and direct action is also there. This is more related with the ethics here. Okay, I told you that I'll give you one formula. Always remember, when we are dealing with the quantitative part, there is always indirect relationship with the money supply. See, money supply क्या है कि हमारी इकोनॉमी में चीजें जो है वो कैसे रन कर रही हैं, हमारी इकोनॉमी में बेसिकली पैसा कितना है, ठीक है? Always remember, both are having indirect relationships. If quantitative instruments, I'm writing it as QI only so that you people remember. If quantitative instrument increases, always remember money supply in an economy will decrease. If quantitative instrument decreases, always remember money supply in an economy will increase. I'll tell you how, right? Now this is on the basis of expansionary and contractionary policy also. When I talk about it, for example, recently I'll give you live example, I'll give you recent example and real examples that you better understand it. For example, recently repo rate was decreased. It means quantitative instrument has been decreased, right? How it is going to put impact on my money supply in economy? Let's see that. Now when I talk about the recent decrease in it, what will happen? If repo rate has been decreased, it means कि repo rate basically क्या है? It's a short term rate. It's a kind of loan only which is given. It's a rate at which short term kind of help has been given by RBI to the scheduled commercial banks. ठीक है? लोन प्रोवाइड करते हैं शॉर्ट टर्म पर्पस के लिए, जो इंटरेस्ट रेट वो रिटर्न करेंगे दैट इज नोन एज रेपो रेट है. अगर वो डिक्रीज होता है मतलब scheduled commercial banks will get benefit here. They have to pay less money. So for example, previously they were paying 15,000 as interest here. Now it has been decreased. They are paying 12,000 as EMI, right? So they are saving 3,000 here, right? They are saving 3,000 here. So it is actually going to benefit whom? That is specifically customers here. सबसे पहले किसको benefit करेगा? It is going to benefit my scheduled commercial banks, and these scheduled commercial banks are further going to give benefit to customers here. Now what scheduled commercial banks are going to do with this 3,000 here? या तो वो इन्वेस्ट कर देंगे, है ना, या तो वो कस्टमर्स को जो है वो बेनिफिट प्रोवाइड कर देंगे. कस्टमर्स को कैसे बेनिफिट प्रोवाइड कर देंगे? अगर रेपो रेट डिक्रीज होगा तो जैसे मेरा हाउसिंग लोन हो गया वो भी डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, राइट? तो जो इंटरेस्ट रेट है वो डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, ठीक है? इंटरेस्ट रेट डिक्रीज हो जाएगा तो लोग क्या करेंगे? they'll start purchasing more of loan. I'll say that now interest rate has been decreased, let's go and purchase loan here. Why? Because the interest rates have been decreased now, right? I'll get loan, and that too at a very affordable rate, so I'll get that, right? So what will happen? Credit in an economy will increase here, and accordingly money supply in an economy will increase. So see, indirect relationship. Repo rate has been decreased, this led to increase in money supply. This is known as expansionary policy. Expansionary policy. What is getting expanded here? That is specifically money supply in an economy. Next is what? For example, repo rate increases, right? It means now our scheduled commercial banks have to pay more interest, right? So for example, previously they were paying 15,000 as EMI. This is just layman language, right? Now they are paying 17,000 here. It means surplus 2,000, right? Now they are paying 2,000 here. So of course, this is not the burden that is going to that commercial banks are going to bear by themselves only. Of course, this will be transferred on us itself, right? So what will happen? If interest rates are going to increase, it means loan will become costly, right? And the credit expansion will be very less. If credit expansion will be very less, money supply in an economy will be reduced. So if repo rate increases, money supply in an economy reduces. This is known as contractionary policy, right? Which decreases money supply in an economy. So this is what is the monetary policy here, and this is how money supply in an economy is managed. I hope you got a crystal clarity of each and every topic that I've discussed here. Having any doubt, you can you can specifically you can mention your doubts in the comment section, and of course I'll address that, right? All right, thank you so much for joining the session. Just wait for the next video, and of course I'm going to give you such conceptual clarity in the next video as well. Thank you so much. Take care.